All right, let's do some math. We're going to start out with geometry. We're going to be doing some segment addition problems. These are fairly straightforward. Okay, here, you know that the entire segment, CE, minus this little part of the segment, CD, is equal to the length we're trying to find, which is DE. And then we'll just substitute in our numbers. So we have 14 minus 11 equals 3. Actually, you know what? Really isn't the best way to do this. I'm going to change that a little bit. We should say 14 minus 11 equals DE, and then 3 equals DE, just to have good form. All right. By the way, when the segments like this refers to the distance between CE, whereas this, if I put a line over it, refers to the name of the segment. So this is a name, this is a distance. Name, distance. All right, let's go next door. Here, we've got that the distance from B to D minus the distance from B to C equals the distance from C to D. Okay. Then we'll go in and do our substitutions. BD is 22. Take away BC, which is 12, equals CD. 22 minus 12 is 10, equals CD. And by the way, the reason I'm not just writing 10 over here is because we want to follow a storyline here. All right, I want to be able to look down through your different equations and see CD, 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 and over here I see substitution, some operations, simplification, and then finally at the very end there, 10 equals CD. Right, it's a good form. All right, next. Here we've got NL minus NM equals ML. And remember, these are distances, not names. And we're going to do our substitutions here. See, NL is 16 minus NM, which is 6, equals ML. 16 minus 6 is 10. We're going to circle our answers there. Next, we've got CE minus CD equals DE. Go to do our substitutions. CE is 19. CD is 7. And DE, that's what we're trying to find. All right. 19 minus 7 is 12. Equals DE. A little box around our answer, so it's easy to find. All right, next. We're going to be naming some angles. There are 4 different ways that you can name each of these angles. Now, whenever we're naming an angle, we're going to put our little angle sign out front of it. This means angle. Kind of looks like an angle. All right, instead of having to write the word angle over and over and over again. So one way we can name it is just by its vertex. So that's angle G. And this is the vertex. That's the pointy bit where the 2 sides of the angle come together. The sides are GH and GF. Those are rays. But the vertex is G. It's where the 2 rays meet. Now, you can't do this if there were, say, other rays coming out of here. Then I wouldn't know which angle I was talking about if there were a bunch of angles there. If there were a bunch of angles there and I want to talk about this one in particular, I'd have to give it another name. And I could call it FGH. We sort of wrap around FGH. You're wrapping around the angle there. But it doesn't matter which way you wrap. You could also call it HGF. Go the other way. And that would also be perfectly valid. You can do that as well. Now, finally, you could also just call it angle phi. Sometimes there'll be a small number or sometimes a small lowercase letter on the inside that you can use to name it as well. This is a phi. sometimes it's easier to work that way. So let's take a look next door. Here, this could be called angle G. It could be called angle FGH, wrapping around. It could be called angle HGF. HGF, or there's a small 1 inside. We could just call it angle 1. Moving down a little bit, we've got here, we could call this angle F. We could also call it angle GFE, wrapping around. Or wrapping around the other way, we could call it angle EFG. Or finally, there's this small 4 inside. We could call this angle 4. Here, we could call this angle L, because L is the vertex. We could call it angle MLK. Hey, like Martin Luther King. Cool. Or, going the other way, we could call it angle KLM. Angle KLM. I think KLM, I think those are all 5s on a phone's keypad. So check that out. Alright, or because there's a small 5 inside, we could call this angle 5. Alright, let's go take a look at the back side of our work for today. Alright, evaluate each expression. Now you could just punch all this into your calculator, but then you get no points for it. That's not how we're working today. You need to follow your order of operations and show each step. Okay? So, order of operations, we do, I like to use this little pyramid here. And it goes like this. Okay, at the top of our pyramid are, I kind of made this exponents. I made that kind of hard to see. And then below, we have multiplication and division. And below that, we have addition and subtraction. And we always go right to left, or left to right, sorry, like we're reading a book. So here, we only have the base layer. Right? We're always going, by the way, down the pyramid. So, 3 plus 5 becomes 8 minus 3. 8 minus 3 becomes 5. Over here, we've got multiplication and subtraction. Multiplication is closer to the top of the pyramid. That goes first. 4 times 5 is 20. Minus 6. And 20 minus 6 is 14. Down here, we just got addition and subtraction at the base of the pyramid. We go left to right. 5 plus 4 is 9. Minus 6. And 9 minus 6 is 3. Over here, we've got 4 plus 5 minus 3. Again, we just go right to left. Everything, or left to right. Everything's at the base of the pyramid. So 4 plus 5 is 9. And that's minus 3. 9 minus 3, 6. Alright. Going down a little further, we're going to do some distributive property. Distributive property problems, you just take the thing that's outside the parentheses, we multiply it by both things that are inside. So 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times, and this is a negative 8n. We want to think about it that way. Negative 8n. So 9 times a negative 8n, well 9 times negative 8 is negative 72, and then the n just goes along with it. So we only multiply the coefficient together. Next door here, we've got 9 times k, and 9 times a negative 5. So 9 times k just becomes 9k. 9 times negative 5 is a negative 45. Down here we've got 6 times x and 6 times a negative 8. This becomes 6 times x is just 6x. 6 times negative 48 is, or 6 times negative 8 is a negative 48. And the last problem for today, it's been a long video, negative 2 times 1 and negative 2 times a negative 7n. It's a little tricky here. Negative 2 times 1, well, it's just negative 2. But negative 2 times negative 7n is going to be a positive 14, because two negatives being multiplied together. Don't forget your n. All right. Easy peasy today.